Welcome to StartUp on TV Africa Network. My name is Eugene Oseboating, your host. As always, this show, we aim to educate, inspire our audience, motivate our audience to start businesses. We say that behind every successful business owner is a story of how they got started, the things that they had to go through, the struggles that they had to overcome, the challenges they had to overcome to be successful. Today, we are privileged to have with us Mr. Felix Quarchey of Quarchey Insurance Agency that is part of our Farmers Insurance. We'll be chatting with him. American Family. Wow, that I definitely need to update on that. He is from American Family Insurance. That is absolutely very, very important. And we'll be chatting with him more to find out about why he got started in the insurance world, what his motivation was, and what his story overall was. So certainly join me as we do so. Mr. Quarchey, thank you so much and welcome to StartUp on TV Africa Network.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, absolutely. And he's been a great friend of mine, so certainly would love to chat with him more. Mr. Quarchey, can you tell us what is your story?
Well, I arrived in Columbus in 2004, having graduated from college in West Virginia. Initially thinking I was going to be going into banking when I graduated from college. However, graduating coincided with the 9/11 attacks, so most of the financial industry kind of shut down a little bit.
Okay.
So nobody was hiring, and it was a question of just kind of finding your way in this new world, this new reality we were living in. Right. College students just didn't have jobs when they got out of school when I graduated. So fortunately, I stumbled upon a good friend that gave me some insight about a bank that was hiring in Sandusky, Ohio. Ended up there working as an assistant branch manager for a while, and I've just always known I didn't want to be working for somebody forever.
Okay.
So coming from a household where both my parents, pretty much were self-employed all my life, save for maybe the first 10 years of my life. So I just always knew that was my road. I was always going to be doing something for me. So when the opportunity came, which it really did by accident, it just made sense. My mind was already on it, so it was just time and opportunity, really. So,
wow,
yeah.
Amazing. So it's interesting that you mentioned that in so many ways, the catastrophe of 9/11 put you in a position where you ended up with the bank in Sandusky, and further on kind of led you into the insurance world. So yes, you like you said, it may be by accident, but in so many ways it kind of just fell in line with what you were trying to ultimately do. Now, which part you mentioned that with your parents having come from business ownership and so much, how much of that was on your mind when you decided to really get in and start your own business?
When you own your own business and you say that to somebody, it sounds really good. I mean, I get a lot of pride and from saying that I am self-employed and I work for me, that rosiness isn't to be just taken to heart like, oh, it's easy, because it's far from being easy.
Right.
Because if you do well, it's great. If you don't do well, it's not so great. And if you're a family man, you have pressures on you as well at home, so you have to provide. What happens is you have to be single-minded about what you're doing.
Single-minded, okay.
There's a certain amount of single-mindedness that comes with owning a business. If you plan properly to get into it in the first place, and it is a sound enterprise, if you've done the research to show that, okay, this is a sound enterprise, then it falls on you then to get in there and do the work to make that enterprise work for you as it has everybody else that's tried it, right? But single-mindedness meaning you can't waffle, you can't be like, well, it's kind of tough this month, and last month was kind of tough too, so I think I'm done. I'm gonna go find a 9-to-5 someplace and call it a day. So when you get into it, you have to be single-minded. Will you fail sometimes? Yeah, definitely. But you have to find the mistake and failure and tweak that error and find a way to make it work, so you're not failing again, so to speak, But yeah, that single-mindedness is crucial. I saw that in both my parents. So.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It's certainly very, very important and crucial because, like you said, having that single-minded, almost like a tunnel vision. You've decided that this is the road that I'm going on. You've done your research. You've really kind of laid out a plan, and based on that research, you understand to a certain extent what it takes to succeed, or how long it might take you to succeed, or there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
That's basically it, because you don't make a plan B. When you're
wow,
single-minded and you're resolute, you don't make a plan B, right?
All right.
Because making a plan B is kind of like saying, okay, I'm conceding to the fact that I will fail, so here's that when I do fail, right? Yeah, like I said, you'll hit some bumps along the way, but that's to be expected with everything. You're supposed to take those bumps, kind of flip the bump upside down, sideways, figure out why the bump occurred, and then take that learning and move forward, So that's basically it. You just can't. I'm not saying you're never going to doubt when you're in the process and the going gets tough and so on and so forth. You're going to have some doubts, but you look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, man, ain't no plan B, man. Keep going.
This is it. And and I like that. I like hearing that because in so many ways you're trained to have a plan A, plan B, and sometimes plan C and so on and so forth. Essentially having almost like a failover plan, essentially. But from what you're saying, and I'm so much conscious of the fact that you've done your research. You know that this is a viable venture. It's a viable industry you're getting into. So yes, you might run into those initial bumps, but you have done your research. It's gonna end up being good. Now, I know you're a family man yourself. How much of everything you've had to do has had to kind of juggle in between the family and as you come across challenges, how you kind of evaluate that on your road to where you are right now?
The beauty of being self-employed is you have a lot of flexibility, okay? And that flexibility is both a blessing and a curse, because if that single-mindedness, I guess one of the other virtues you wanna hold on to is discipline. Because you really don't have anybody supervising you to say, hey, you have to be in the office at this time. Yep. From this time to this time, you have to do this. From that time to that time, you have to do that. You really don't have that. So having family, being a family man and wanting to be present, as a family man, as a husband, to your parents, as a parent to your children, and so on and so forth, being self-employed gives you the freedom to be able to incorporate any family thing that comes up, along with it. I mean, I'm happy to say, through both my wife's pregnancies, I went to every single prenatal appointment with my wife.
Okay.
I couldn't do that if I had a regular 9 to 5.
Right.
Almost every single one of my children's appointments, unless I wasn't in town to the doctor, I've been there for almost every single one of them.
Right.
Not because my wife isn't capable to do it, but I want my children to have the memory of both mom and dad,
being around.
And being self-employed allows you to do so. A certain amount of greed also plays into, I mean, if we're being honest.
All right.
A certain amount of greed also plays into wanting to be your own boss. Because at the end of the day, when you work hard for somebody else and you see the numbers, right? And then it comes time for them to supposedly share or, pass on to you bonuses and so on and so forth. And you look at how much money you've made them, because you see the profit and loss statements for whichever part of the enterprise that you're helping them run. And then, you see the bonus check at the end of the year and you're going, hey, this doesn't make any sense. I was the one here working 80 hours a week, getting problems for my wife because I was barely ever home for anything.
Right.
And this is the share you want to share with me, So you look at it and you want to be treated equitably, and owning your own business allows you to do that. So hey, if I break my neck and work 80 hours this week, every last red cent of those efforts comes to
right
you
back
and
to me.
nobody else.
Yeah.
And then, of course, what you choose to do with that is your own problem. But anybody who says that they don't want to make more money than they were doing before, which is the reason why they went into owning their own business, is fooling themselves.
Okay, all right.
That's definitely.
All right, so a little greediness wouldn't help. Wouldn't hurt in that endeavor.
Greed is healthy.
Right.
It's
healthy greed. Yeah.
A healthy greed
Yeah.
helps drive you along with all the other motivations, and not greed like, okay, I just want to make money. No, you set certain milestones for yourself. So when you achieve one milestone, that greed pushes you to reach for another,
Okay.
So you don't sit on your laurels, so to speak.
Right.
So,
Get comfortable.
yeah.
And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think greed is a good motivator.
All right, well, absolutely, and I appreciate the fact that you shared with us some of the things that has helped you, some of the virtues that has helped you to be disciplined and kind of focused to the point where you are right now. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll delve a little bit deeper into the insurance world. I'm pretty sure you have a ton of information. People out there need to be educated about the insurance world, and we'll certainly be able to do that in the next segment.
Definitely.
So, viewers, we'll be right back.